Hey friends, the eNews for the week of November 5th. I hope that you are well. We had a wonderful worship this past Sunday celebrating All Saints' Day. It really was wonderful to welcome families back of those members who had died. Those families have moved away, but they came back for this Sunday to remember their parents mostly. So thanks be to God for that tradition and the joy of giving witness to those who have finished their race. We're grateful for that. I want to share with you something that one of the confirmation students asked me last week. We were talking, it was the week before Halloween, we were talking about the name of Halloween, and I've shared that with you, but he asked this question. He said, "Pastor, is it a sin to watch horror movies?" Which I thought was really an intriguing question. And we talked about it for just a few minutes about why he asked that or what my thoughts were on that. But it called to attention as I reflected on that later on. And I'll share this with him this week. It brought to my attention the passage in 1 Corinthians 10, that back in the first century in the church, there was a disagreement or a conversation, probably a disagreement, on whether it was permissible for Christians to eat the meat that had been sacrificed to idols, not to God, but to idols, and whether or not that was allowable or not. And I wanted to share what God says in His Word from 1 Corinthians 10 about that. This is chapter 10, verse 23. It says, "Everything is permissible, but not everything is beneficial. Everything is permissible, but not everything is constructive. Nobody should seek his own good, but the good of others." And then later on at the very end of this chapter it says, "So whether you eat or drink or whatever you do," watch horror movies or not, "do it all for the glory of God. Do not cause anyone to stumble, whether Jews, Greeks, or the church of God, even as I try to please everybody in every way. For I am not seeking my own good, but the good of many, so that they may be saved. Follow my example as I follow the example of Christ." And I thought that's a really good word for us in our day. So many people are questioning things, and sometimes we want it to be black or white. It's right or it's wrong. But I think this text tells us to think about it differently. Just because we're free to do something doesn't mean we should. It doesn't mean it's best. Just because it's legal or allowed or not a sin doesn't mean that we should behave in that way or do that particular task or practice that particular trait or say those particular words. I really want to encourage us to wrestle with that for all of our lives. And it does come down to asking the question, who am I doing this for? Is it for me? What will other people who see me do this think? Will it be a witness to Christ? Will it be sensitive to them and their understandings? Will it bring glory to God? That, to me, is really the litmus test or the right questions to ask, no matter what we're doing, no matter how we're talking, no matter what is out there before us. It doesn't keep it black and white, but it causes us to consider things other than our own desire and our own freedom. And we're big on freedom these days, and that's significant. But in that freedom, are we making choices that honor God so that others might be saved? Right? That's what it says here. that they may be saved. So follow my example as I follow the example of Christ. So what I said to this student, I said, I don't think it's a sin to watch horror movies, but I would ask you why you do it. Why do you watch horror movies? What's behind that? Is it really helpful for your own soul? Is it just entertainment? Does it lead to some kind of thrill of being scared or being fearful? And what happens if you feed that need of having the thrill or being afraid? What's the next step that will meet that need? And those are things that we don't always consider. But I invite you, friends, all of us, to ask ourselves in all of life, when we're doing something, is it just because we can or are allowed to? Or is it really thoughtful about this is going to bring glory to God? That's our hope and our desire, that whatever we do, whatever we say, whatever our behaviors are, that they represent Christ and that they are an example of people who follow Christ. So let me encourage you with that in this day. Know that we're here for you. We care about you. If we can do anything for you, reach out. We'd love to be present with you on your journey. Have a great day. Take care. God bless.